Good evening and welcome to the second half of this UWS National Semifinal doubleheader, live from the Holmgren Athletic Complex on the campus of North Park University on the north side of Chicago along the north branch of the Chicago River. Edgewater Castle, the hosts of the weekend, take on Michigan Jaguars. Thanks for joining us on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page. I'm Alex Campbell. First semifinal of the day was won by New England Mutiny. They defeated SoCal FC 2-1. They're on to tomorrow's final at Loyola University Chicago. Who will join them? Captain's meeting about to go on here at midfield. Goalkeeper Lucy Clark, who was questionable for tonight's game, joined by Kylie Egan and Lauren Hall. Believe it was Mary Grimes on captain duty for Michigan Jaguars, a team that not quite as star-studded as they might have hoped for tonight, but still a very, very strong program. The 2023 UWS National Champions, where they beat Santa Clarita Blue Heat in penalties to claim the title. 5 or 6 players still here tonight from that team. Excuse me, the captain was Kyra Carfanta, senior defender at Dayton. Almost this entire Michigan Jaguars team played for the Jaguars in their youth system and have known each other off and on for a long time. This Edgewater team, a little more diverse in its makeup based on experience and age. Some college players, some who haven't been in college in a while. Meanwhile, there's a high schooler in the starting lineup for Michigan Jaguars. That's Andy Jones, who will be up top today. A lot going to be asked of her. Edgewater, meanwhile, 9-0 on their season, going 8-0 in the regular season in the Midwest Conference of UWS, and then defeating Crystal Lake Force in the conference title game 3-1. The captain, Kira Carfanta, one of those players who lifted the national championship trophy back in 2023. The Rooks, who played out of a 3-5-2 most of the season, they've shifted this 4-3-3. That will still be a bit of a back three in possession, but it'll be interesting to see how they match up with a team they haven't seen this season. First time for Edgewater Castle at this level. It's been a year of a lot of firsts, and there's still lots of trophies on the line for this club. Both teams will compete in the State Cup finals next weekend. Edgewater Castle's men looking to win their league and get promoted. But the focus right now is here at the Holmgren Athletic Complex, where Edgewater Castle look to make history and advance to a home national championship match. We've seen this start to the matches before. Ashley Chesniak, the defensive midfielder, will take the kickoff. Back to Emily Olson with Jocelyn Lee and Catherine Stevens, the strikers, running down the far side. We'll get the lineup for Michigan Jaguars and then go through Edgewaters as well when we get the chance, as we're underway here at North Park. Thanks for joining us. On the far side, Ham couldn't quite connect with Stevens. It's cleared, though, only as far as Emily Olson. Back here for Ashley Chesniak. Swung all the way over to her sister Bella. Here's Kylie Egan for Edgewater. Egan was bumped. Still finding Scout Murray. Murray on goal. It's claimed by Nelson, making her first appearance of the summer for this Jaguars team. 5 rostered goalkeepers going into the weekend. None of them available for this weekend's tournament. They play their home games at Lawrence Tech, and they have imported Lawrence Tech's starting goalkeeper, Nelson. 43 games for the Blue Devils in 3 seasons. Scout Murray could be in behind, but Nelson's out to claim. Bouncing ball in midfield. Skylar Bierker, the Loyola center back, got there. Taking over in midfield is Hannah Crum. Out to the left back, Britton. Rooks putting the pressure on Jocelyn Lee. Their leading scorer, 9 goals in 9 games. Tied for the, was just off the Golden Boot due to trailing in assists in the regular season, but if you count the UWS Midwest Championship game, she is the leading scorer from the conference. Lauren Hall, one of the Edgewater captains, clearing to midfield. Chesniak. It's hit long. Egan flicking it on, and here goes Catherine Stevens. Stevens could be in for the Rooks. Catherine Stevens! The home side takes the lead just 3 minutes in. The former Loyola striker into the top corner. Goal for the Rooks, scored in the 3rd minute by number 5. Catherine Stevens. What a start for the Rooks. Her 6th goal of the summer gives the Rooks the early lead. Felt like maybe the Jaguars were still just getting set. Never fully got set. Jaguars with their first real chance to attack down the far side. Miolani, number 35. Out of play for a throw. Time here for Lauren Hall. And now a chance for Bierker to run. Here's Skylar Bierker looking for Stevens again. Stevens will run this down. Stevens crossing, looking for Jocelyn Lee. Cleared away from the goal mouth by Hjorth. Rooks very much out on the front foot. So for the two teams, for the Jaguars, it's Nelson in goal. A back four from right to left of Grimes, Carfonta, Hjorth, and Britton. It's a midfield double pivot of Diambra and Case with Crum playing as a 10. We'll come back to that in a minute. Ashley Chesniak takes the shot, held by Nelson. And then it's Lonnie Miller-Jones from right to left across the front three. For the Rooks, it is Clark in goal, Bella Chesniak, Hall, Bierker, Ham, the back four, Ashley Chesniak, Olsen, Egan, the midfield three, Murray, Lee, Stevens across the front line. The newcomers on the block looking like the experienced pros in the opening stages of this second semifinal. Bierker out to the near side for Bella Chesniak. Down the line, some space for Scout Murray, the Ohio University forward. And this will run out in the corner for the game's first corner kick of the match. It'll be Kylie Egan, one of the co-captains, over to take. Edgewater piling players into the 6-yard box. Egan out swinger right into the middle. Header flick to the back post. No one was there. Murray will keep it in. Murray tried to center. It'll spin to the corner and stay in play. Murray. Ham. Olsen. And back here for the safety of Skylar Bierker. Switch here for Bella Chesniak, just too strong. Chesniak, the Loras College Dewhawk. making her 4th start of the season. I think it might be her 4th straight, given the role she's played down the stretch. Throw on the near side. This is Amanda Britton, Central Michigan Chippewa grad. Played 61 games for them in her college career. Given away, Egan. Egan looking in behind for Jocelyn Lee. Lee looking tonight to get to double digits on the season for goals. Her cross cleared away. Now Jones, the high schooler, flicking that off for Crum. And now Wilson will give chase. Miller, against Hall. And Lauren Hall, the Rooks captain, back to Lucy Clark. Clark, that's going to go out of play. Clark, who was questionable tonight with an ankle injury, is in net with, I'm sure, no shortage of tape. The backup on the bench tonight for the Rooks is the college freshman-to-be Cynthia Waller, who's on her way to Cal State Sacramento. Only a 3-woman bench tonight for the Jaguars. Lauren Bambanek, Kayla Jackson, Alex Williams. That's all they've got on the bench. Meanwhile, for the Rooks, Danielle Budak, Danny Schulgasser, Cam Sangstock, Lucy Tang, Courtney Sangstock, and the aforementioned Waller. Scott Murray immediately looking ahead for Stevens, and getting in the way there was the opposing captain, Carfanta, captain at Dayton. Talking to head coach Hassan Daoud earlier this week, he said that for Carfanta, winning that 2023 national championship with the Jaguars was just a huge spur for her career. She hadn't played her freshman year at Dayton, and now fast forward a couple of years, she's going to be a second-year captain for the Flyers this year, and, you know, a written-in-pen starter both for this team over the summers and for Dayton coming up this fall. Egan. Belashezniak calmly back here for Lauren Hall. Hall looking long, but split the two strikers. We'll see Stevens and Lee interchanging a lot. They are both players who want to be in the middle. More often we'll see Stevens flaring out to the left side. Diambra. Diambra just graduating from Eastern Michigan. 71 games for the Eagles in her career. That ball, though, just out of the reach of Amanda Britton. On the season for the Jaguars, 24 goals scored, 10 conceded. A 7-2 record. The Rooks, meanwhile, 31 scored, 32 now, just 6 conceded. This is a good ball into the channel for Miller to chase against Bierker. Did well to stay on her feet there. But it's taken away by Kelsey Ham. Ham, one of the handful of veterans on this team. By which I guess I mean people whose ages start with the same number that mine does. Clark, lots of time here. Just for reference, researching Michigan Jaguars this week, they've had about 40 different players be rostered for a game for them this season. Really long list of available options. And again, almost all players who came through their youth academy. Of that list, there are only 8 of those players here tonight. Few debutantes, mostly the bench players. We'll come back to that. Here goes Jocelyn Lee. Lee holding off the defense and scoring. It's 2-0 Rooks. Both strikers with goals. 11 minutes in. It's all Edgewater. Goal for the Rooks. Scored in the 11th minute by number 12, her 10th of the season, Jocelyn Lee. Stevens and Lee, who were both named first team all UWS today, backing up that inclusion with a goal apiece early, and the Jaguars have become the prey early in this game. They are all over the place. And the home team taking full advantage, up 2-0 early. Long run here for Britain. She's not going to get there. Hall. Ashley Chesniak, excuse me, Emily Olsen. That's overhit. Chance now for Crum to turn. Outside for the right back. That's Grimes. Her cross cleared away. Olsen lost control there. Chance for the Jaguars now, but unable to get through that sandwich was Victoria Miller, the forward who spent her freshman year at Ohio State but is on her way to San Diego State. And we have a player down on the far side for the Jaguars who, with that short bench, really cannot afford to lose anybody tonight. They're going to need all three subs to play decent minutes, you would think, in both halves. So that's something to keep an eye on. We'll one second get a check on who that is. Whoever they are, they've got a big brace on their left leg. It's number 20. That's Lydia Case, rising sophomore at Loyola. Good work there by the captain, Carfanta. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Rooks down near the corner flag. I asked Coach Daoud about the mental side of having been here before, and one thing he said to me was, quote, "It's everything. We have a game plan, and then you get punched in the mouth." Well, that punch in the mouth has happened here in the early stages, and he mentioned that somebody like Andy Jones might need some help as, you know, a player who's still in high school. That from the mental side of the game, these are difficult moments, and when you don't have those players that you can really rely on to be your consistent source of attacking leadership, can get a lot tougher. The biggest missing piece for Michigan today is Amalia Villarreal, U.S. Youth International, as this cross comes into the far post and will stay in bounds somehow all the way out for a throw. But Villarreal, a star already as a rising sophomore for the Texas Longhorns, where she was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year last year. Big sweeping ball out here to the near side for Britain. Jones got tangled up, and that's going to be a free kick. They're going to bring it back for some earlier contact, as Jones gets a pat on the back from Britain. Jones, just a rising high school junior. So 16 years old, playing in these national semifinals. Long ball for Carfanta to shield all the way back to the goalkeeper, Nelson. Nelson on her career for Lawrence Tech, a 1.53 goals against average, a 76% save percentage, 9 shutouts. Bella Chesniak guiding that back for Lucy Clark to clear. Egan, time to survey. Good challenge there by Crum, caught Chesniak both physically and by surprise. Scout Murray tried to turn. Referee gonna say free kick, as Murray's foot got tangled up there with Britain. Lauren Hall, one of the captains, to take the free kick. You also, if you joined us early, might have heard her rendition of the national anthem play over the PA here. Hall. Does that stay in? It does not. It'll be a throw-in on the near side for the Jaguars here in the 17th minute. If you joined us late, you missed some early fireworks. 3rd minute goal by Catherine Stevens. 11th minute goal by Jocelyn Lee to give the Rooks a 2-0 advantage. It's taken away by Emily Olson, but recollecting are the Jaguars. Here's Britton down the line. Hall tangling there with Miller and doing really well. Bella Chesniak looking long. That's cut out by Hjorth. Stevens stepping in, but able to hold on there is Lydia Case, who looks to be okay right now. Although, as I say that, she reaches back down for her left knee. Carfanta. That a free kick? Referee not interested. Ashley Chesniak. Still in possession. Chesniak looking to go through the lines toward Lee. Stevens. Dispossessed there and clearing away is Crum. The attacking midfielder dropping in to help. Good run down the far side here by Lonnie. Sliding in went Lauren Hall. It's just out for a quick throw that Skylar Bierker then just gets ahead to. Rooks have played on this field once before this season. They lost a crazy fun game in the National Amateur Cup, 4-3 to FC Milwaukee Torrent. But there is some familiarity because Emma Woodley, the Rooks head coach, is the head women's coach here at North Park. And there is one now former Viking on the bench today. That's Danielle Budak, recently finished up her North Park collegiate soccer career. Grimes wide for Lonnie. Lonnie to the middle. Hall got in the way. Only as far as Crum. Chesniak tried to step across. Case. Miller trying to get free. Miller has a go, and Clark able to hold. First real action of the game for Lucy Clark, the Bristol, England native. Making her 6th start of the season here in Edgewater's 10th game. Ava Garcia, the high school junior, having gone in net in the UWS Midwest Conference title game. Free kick here for the Jaguars in the 21st minute. A couple Edgewater subs told to go warm up. Looks like Lucy Tang and Courtney Sangstock. Stevens does well to shield. Was pulled back, free kick. Hall just takes this perpendicularly to the action as now Bella Chesniak can send this toward Jocelyn Lee. Was well defended by Carfanta. Case trying to turn under pressure from Chesniak. Throw in for the Rooks. Edgewater seeking a 3rd goal and what would feel like an early dagger potentially. Is that a free kick? It is. And Emily Olson's the one fouled, and Emily Olson is very, very dangerous from this range. We've seen her score from here. We've seen her test goalkeepers. We've seen her hit the crossbar. And there's not a doubt in anyone for the Rooks' mind about what is going to happen on this set piece. And if they've done their homework, the Jaguars know exactly what's coming as well. Ball sitting between the 16 and 17-yard lines. On the left hash. It's about 18, I'll call it about 27, 28 yards from goal. Emily Olsen will play it short. Stevens flicks it through. Kylie Egan! Well, when you're so certain about what's coming, maybe you're not ready for what happens instead. The two hands went in the air. That was the signal. Stevens the flick. Egan the finish. Less than 23 minutes played. 3-0 Edgewater. Goal for the Rooks, scored in the 23rd minute by number 8, Kylie Egan. The assist to number 5, Catherine Stevens. Wasn't that a neat play off the training ground? 3-0 to the Rooks, and triple change. All 3 subs are in. Just got to see who left the match, because we know who's coming in. And it was, let's see, it's Grimes. Someone with a single-digit number, which don't know if there was any of those besides the young striker. Jones starting, and I think she's still out there, and she is. Substitutions for the Michigan Jaguars. Entering the match are number 7, Lauren Bambanek, number 25, Kayla Jackson, and number 60, Alex Williams. Edgewater going to respond with a triple change of their own. Catherine Stevens and Lucy Tang will switch. Jocelyn Lee and Courtney Sangstock will switch. And the third change is Bella Chesniak. She and Natasha Davenport will switch. Substitutions for Edgewater Castle. Leaving the match, number 5, Catherine Stevens, replaced by number 11, Lucy Tang. Also leaving the match, number 12, Jocelyn Lee, replaced by number 19, Courtney Sangstock. And finally, leaving the match, number 17, Bella Chesniak, replaced by number 7, Natasha Davenport. Those all like-for-like changes. Davenport into right back. Not quite like-for-like, I should say. Sangstock's a striker, so she goes in Lee's place. Lucy Tang, we've mostly seen play as a 10 this season, but since the Rooks have switched from that 3-5-2 to this 4-3-3, that position where she's going to play off the left wing, but she wants to cut inside, suits Tang just fine. Lucy Tang, the former UC San Diego player. Courtney Sangstock, meanwhile, formerly of Lewis University, where she played alongside Lucy Clark. And frustration and practicality, as you might have just seen, Lydia Case just took off her knee brace and threw it. Or flicked it with her foot. Either way, that thing went flying. She's putting it back on now, but it's been that kind of opening half hour for Michigan Jaguars. And the final sub, Davenport, played a couple of years at the University of Pennsylvania. Miller trying to turn. This is better by Jaguars. Here's Miller. Wide to the near side, Bambanek. Still going, Lauren Bambanek. Another high school junior. Bambanek sliding in went Bierker. And was that off Bambanek last? No, it's going to be a corner kick. Bambanek, a rising junior at Northville High School. The other subs were Kayla Jackson, who was transferring to Illinois from Georgia. think she is probably a similar late addition to the couple we discussed with SoCal earlier. Might not know her teammates particularly well at this stage today. And then finally, Alex Williams, a Jaguars Academy grad who plays at Grand Valley State. Excuse me, a Liverpool FC Michigan Academy grad. My mistake. To be honest, I did not know that Liverpool had an outpost in Metro Detroit until doing some research on this team. Into the area, Clark out to claim. Booted downfield by Clark as the floodlights have come on here at the Holmgren Athletic Complex. We'll need those in the second half. Header one on the far side by Williams. And we've got the assistant waving for a foul on the far side. Referee now honoring that. It'll be a free kick for the visitors. More changes on the way for the Rooks. We're going to see Cam Sangstock, Danielle Budak, and I think Danny Schulgasser as well. 3-0 lead really gives Emma Woodley the latitude to keep everybody's legs fresh. Especially knowing that if you see this out for a win, you got to play another full game tomorrow. Bambanek skipping past Hall. Bambanek's cross to the middle. Clark tips it away. Not clear yet. Ham into the air on the volley. It's Miller. Headed by Olsen, not once but twice. Scout Murray, that went off of Bambanek. Here's Miller. Rooks diving in. Miller again. And Lucy Clark in the end, able to secure it. Sangstock battling there with Diambra. Olsen able to flick that header, and it's cleared away by Lauren Hall. Hjorth into the path here of Bambanek, who's looked really positive since coming on. Here's Miller. Miller cutting in on Davenport. Miller skipping by Hall, but eventually dispossessed by Egan as then Emily Olsen hammers it into the feet of Courtney Sangstock. Lucy Tang squaring up Williams, but running out of real estate. Good defending by Williams. Triple change for Edgewater, as it's Olsen, Murray, and Ham all coming out. And they're replaced by Budak, Schulgasser, and Cameron Sangstock. Substitutions for Edgewater Castle, leaving the match number 6, Emily Olsen, number 22, Scout Murray, and number 33, Kelsey Ham. Entering the match, number 3, Danielle Budak, number 4, Danny Schulgasser, and number 9, Cameron Sangstock. Schulgasser. Inside, here's Egan. Budak, as I mentioned earlier, the former North Park Viking, 66 starts. Started every game the Vikings played for her full 4 seasons. Long run there by Ashley Chesniak. That's well done. Meanwhile, Schulgasser captained the club team at Arizona State when she was an undergrad there. And Cam Sangstock split her time in college between Lewis and Winona State. Good ball in behind. Chasing in here is Jackson, but she won't catch up to it. Clark there first. Good shielding by Skylar Bierker. Bierker, who made the all UWS second team that was announced earlier today. Clark sending this long. Budak sliding and got there first, but Miller did well to hold her off enough. Crum. Jones. up against Davenport. Jones skipping by. Jones to the byline. Still Jones all the way. Tap in for 3-1. What great work by Andy Jones. She sets up Kayla Jackson. And we've got a game on our hands. 3-1 here in the 32nd. Goal for Michigan Jaguars, scored by number 25, Kayla Jackson. Assisted by number 2, Andy Jones. So Andy Jones, the very talented high schooler, showing off her speed there, and between her on one side and Bambanek on the other, I think that's going to be the Jaguars' best route to try to exploit this Edgewater defense. So Jackson, the rising sophomore at Illinois, who actually scored against the Illini in her college debut for Georgia. So that's some nice symmetry with her now heading to Urbana-Champaign. Kylie Egan, as the Rooks look for a response. That deflects, and Sangstock's on the chase. Cam heading it back. And Davenport cleared it out of play for a throw. Could be a tough matchup, though, as now the Jaguars, I think, are just in basically a straight-up 4-4-2 with Jackson and Miller up front. And Jones and Bambanek, the speed on the wings. Egan flicking that on for Courtney Sangstock. Egan. Near side space for Scholgasser. Lucy Tang. Tang onto her right and couldn't quite steer that on target. Can the Jaguars quickly find a second and really reset this contest? Here goes the speed of Jones. They were looking for it again. Clark didn't get her clearance right. Skylar Bierker fumbled. Here's Jackson. Jackson for 2. She dragged it wide of the post. Almost 3-2. The Jaguars on the hunt. They have woken up here in this one. And so nearly 3-2, and we've really seen now the threat of that wide pace from Michigan Jaguars. And this is, for Edgewater, a team that's average age, certainly older than everybody else here this weekend. That athleticism you get out of these players who are, in some cases as young as 16 or actively in college, it's really hard to match that once you're not in those systems anymore, which is, if you're a fan of the Midwest Conference, you're aware of the player of the year, really. If it's not official, then it should be Kerry Collins of Crystal Lake Force, who proves that age is just a number. Counter-attacking opportunity here. Kylie Egan down the near side. Scholgasser chasing to keep this in play. Won't quite get there. I think the way this is going, Edgewater coach Emma Woodley would absolutely take the way things are right now. Even though she's more of an attacker, this is a time where the Rooks really miss one of their standout players this summer who's unfortunately not been available for the last several games. It's Molly Pistorius, who's transferring to Loyola from Northern Michigan, where she put up just video game attacking numbers, but she was playing as a really attacking right wing back, and just her pace gave the Rooks so much. Free kick to the dismay of Natasha Davenport. But here goes the pace again. It's Andy Jones. Jones, that ball forward for Jackson, overshot it. Jones goes flying in, and this time it's Davenport who is awarded the free kick. Edgewater goals in the 3rd, 11th, and 23rd minutes. The Jaguars' response in the 32nd. Egan was closed down there, and now here's Jackson. Jackson tried to go around Hall. Referee playing advantage. Andy Jones. Jones looking back for Jackson. Jackson played it last. Well done by Hall there to pull her foot out of the way and just let Jackson dribble out of play. I suppose it's not easy in any case, but if Kayla Jackson is as new to her teammates as I think she is, I suppose playing as a center forward is about the easiest position to do that. And as someone who's a Big Ten center forward, her teammates can rely on her to be in the right place at the right time, make good runs. She's got a goal today. So I suppose welcome to the great state of Illinois, Kayla Jackson. Daniel Budak. Courtney Sangstock. Sangstock for Egan. Egan wanted Schulgasser, couldn't quite get it there. Ashley Chesniak. Chesniak who's going to send this toward goal, and just enough air under it for it to be easy for Gabby Nelson. Nelson's first work in a while. Bambanek. Nelson all the way wide here for Williams. Straight out of play. Thrown on the far side as the clock ticks into the 40th minute of play here at North Park. A reminder, tomorrow's final, 2 o'clock Central Time here on the Edgewater YouTube page and in person at Loyola University Chicago's Hoyne Fields. Into the middle, Hjorth got that partially away. Here's Kylie Egan. Egan toward the byline. This ball stay in play as Egan whips it toward goal. It's out for a goal kick. Budak with a good step. Lucy Tang. Tang, heavy touch there, taken away by Lydia Case. And Case immediately looking to play it for Miller, just too strong. Right idea, though. Tang. Tangling up there with an opponent. Referee does pull it back for a free kick. Had hydration breaks in each half of that first game, which made a lot of sense, but I think the referee fair in deciding that we didn't need them for this second game. Sun has been mostly behind the clouds, which has been pleasant. Lauren Hall to send this forward. Headed away at the top of the penalty area there by D'Ambra. Davenport back here for Bierker. Budak. Tang. Lauren Hall. Schulgasser with time. Courtney Sangstock turning, playing it back for Schulgasser. But then left that one short. Hall shielding that away from Miller. Budak lobbing that into the middle of the field. Rooks just lack that little bit of attacking presence with neither Stevens nor Lee on the pitch. Cameron Sangstock's going to try to run this down as the captain Carfanta plays it back to the goalkeeper. And Nelson does the safe thing and plays into touch. Rooks, since making those subs, very much back into their back three system right now. That ball to the middle, headed away. Actually, Szczesniak came charging in, and it's a handball as that bounced up awkwardly off the right elbow of 18 in white. Here goes Bambanek again, trying to chase this down. Bambanek gets there and crosses it right into the stomach of Lucy Clark. Clark immediately looking for Schulgasser. Infield for Tang. Tang and Cameron Sangstock exchanging. Good touch there, Lucy Tang. Now Kylie Egan. Davenport gave it away. Crum turning, immediately looking for Jackson. Jackson hits the accelerator, well read though by Lucy Clark. That doesn't quite stay in, and it'll be a throw on the far side for Jaguars. That's played short, and Hjorth just got it away in time. Case spinning. Is that going to work out? In the end, it takes an odd deflection. I don't know who hit that last. It's the Rooks. It's a corner. Wasn't pretty, but it worked out for Lydia Case. Swung into the far post. Into the air. And away by Budak. Ashley Szczesniak. Far side to Lucy Tang. Rooks have an overload on the near side. Tang, though, got closed down well there by Diambra. Rooks started this game really sharply, but it just hasn't been quite so good since they were up 3-0. Miller was looking for the big switch, didn't see it. Bambanek. Closed down by Schulgasser. Well done to get out of trouble there by Case. Jackson. Lucy Tang charging forward for Edgewater. Tang clipping it forward. Cam Sangstock was trying to get there, as was Courtney, and in the end it's Hjorth clearing out a play for a throw for the Rooks. Here in stoppage time at the end of the first half, figure we've got to have a couple minutes given the 4 goals on the board. Into the middle. Egan turning, wanted to fire, was taken off her foot before she could. Hall looking forward. Here's Courtney Sangstock, but the flag is up. And there is the halftime whistle. What a start for Edgewater, but the Jaguars are right in this thing. Got a goal back and have looked the better team since. We'll go to the break. It's 3-1 here at the Holmgren Athletic Complex. At halftime, the score is your Edgewater Castle Rooks 3, Michigan Jaguars 1. Welcome inside now here in the press box at Holmgren Athletic Complex. I'm Alex Campbell. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page for these semifinals. Today, again, earlier today, it was a win for the New England Mutiny. They're on to tomorrow's final. Sure looked like Edgewater Castle were well on their way early in this game, but credits to Michigan Jaguars. They found the soft spot down the wings, and Andy Jones, the 16-year-old, making a huge impact, goes on that run, sets up a tap-in for the debutant Jackson. And it's a 2-goal game, but it feels like a 1-goal game right now because this feels still precarious for the Rooks, but they'll get a break here at halftime, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully the occasion isn't too much from an Edgewater perspective. Meanwhile, if you're Michigan Jaguars, you got to just keep doing what you were doing the last 10, 15 minutes of that half. There are going to be opportunities out there. Regardless, I think it's going to be a really exciting second half to fight for the second place in tomorrow's final. We'll take a quick break here on the stream here at Holmgren Athletic Complex. You're watching the UWS Semifinals, second half, coming up next. Second half about to get underway here in Chicago in this second UWS National Semifinal between Edgewater Castle hosting this weekend and Michigan Jaguars. Edgewater taking a 3-0 lead in that first half behind goals from Catherine Stevens, Jocelyn Lee, and Kylie Egan. Michigan Jaguars getting their response in the 32nd minute from Kayla Jackson, and they looked very, very dangerous after that. I'm interested to see how the Jaguars approach this second half. I think it's effectively going to be a back three in possession because the left back, who looks like it's still going to be the young high schooler Lauren Bambanek, is going to have all the license in the world to attack. It will be Kayla Jackson to get us started for the second half. We do have a substitution as in goal. Is Cynthia Waller now for Edgewater. Don't know what we're waiting for here. Ref seems content. Just looking around though. Players are all ready. And I don't know what the deal is here. Substitution for Edgewater Castle at halftime, leaving the match number 0, Lucy Clark, replaced by number 97, Cynthia Waller. Waller, though, also wearing the number 0. This is played back, and Waller called into action early. Cynthia, the recent graduate of Lane Tech High School on the north side of Chicago, headed to Cal State Sacramento. This is her second appearance this summer for the Rooks, having previously played against Crystal Lake Force in those teams' regular season meeting. Down the near side, Kelsey Ham is onside. Oh, that's not a good call on the far side. That wasn't even close. Ham was not even the most forward Edgewater player. And the assistant on the far side just missed that one. So sigh of relief there for Michigan Jaguars. The captain, Kira Carfanta, spraying this to the far side. Bella Chesniak there. Looking out at the teams right now, it's Waller in goal for the Rooks, Bella Chesniak, Lauren Hall, Skylar Bierker, Kelsey Ham across the back line, Ashley Chesniak, Emily Olson, Kylie Egan in midfield, Scout Murray, Jocelyn Lee, and Catherine Stevens across the front line. For Michigan Jaguars, it is Mary Grimes, Kira Carfanta, Taya Hjorth, and Lauren Babanek across the back line. In midfield are Hannah Crum, Amanda Britton, as that's cleared away, and Sophia Diambra. And the attackers out there right now are Victoria Miller, Kayla Jackson, and still need to clock one more. Missing one player still from knowing who's who. Chesniak sliding in and getting there, but it'll fall in the end to Grimes. Immediately looks long. The final player, Mia Lani, is on the left wing. Hall, Olson, trying to get out of trouble here and goes back for Bella Chesniak. Scout Murray. Cleared away by Hall. Olson flicking it backwards. It'll be interesting to see when Jaguars have the ball, how deep do the Rooks sit? Because where they got in trouble was the ability of Michigan Jaguars to play into the space in behind. Hall back here for Waller, who does well to clear. Bouncing ball. Stevens flicking it forward. Another long ball. And this one will roll for Waller. Lucy Clark still in full kit on the bench, so you do wonder if she is available to potentially come back into this game. The one thought I had is if the Jaguars were to come back, tie this up, and send us to extra time, I think you might put Lucy Clark in for the possibility of penalty kicks. Jocelyn Lee. Scout Murray was offside. And a foul is called on Lee. That looked like some pretty equal tugging and pushing and shoving there. Surprised to see a whistle go for that. Kira Carfanta to take the free kick. Lobbed toward the top of the area, headed down. Bierker couldn't get it clear. Slid in, still can't get it clear. Jackson onto her left, and it's swallowed up by Waller. Header one out of the air there by Britton. Started at left back tonight, but now is playing in defensive midfield. Ashley Chesniak trying to get out of trouble. Well done. Catherine Stevens. Stevens trying to curl this ball for Jocelyn Lee, but instead it's to Gabby Nelson. To the far side, Chesniak misjudged that. Here's Bambanek. Bambanek curling across in and hammered away by Ham. Egan, space on the far side for Scout Murray, but took a heavy touch. In the end, though, it is an Edgewater throw. Lee just guiding this ball down the sideline, and it's going to be a throw for Michigan Jaguars. Throw and slipped a bit, and Olsen was able to win it. Jocelyn Lee. Lee on her left. Lee will have a go. Didn't quite catch it cleanly. Goal kick. Michigan Jaguars not starting the second half the way I anticipated. I'm really surprised to see Andy Jones not still out there, although with young players you do have to manage their minutes. Jocelyn Lee's going to try to run this down. Grimes, the opposition. It'll be a Jaguars throw. But again, the success they had was just by pumping the ball down the sidelines, trying to get in behind Edgewater Castle. We haven't seen them do it yet in this second half. Skylar Bierker just tackled and was still able to find Kelsey Ham, referee playing advantage. Olsen. Jocelyn Lee got a foot in. Ashley Chesniak caught in it by Jackson, and a good touch there by Bierker. They could still be in some trouble, though. Victoria Miller, lots of room, edge of the area. Miller. Looking for the cutback, goes for goal herself. It's right at Waller, who holds. And these are the kind of plays the Rooks can't afford. Given right away to Bambanek. Jackson turning. Jackson up against Hall. Hall scuffed that. Chesniak's got to be careful, and she's able to clear. Not a time, I wouldn't say, to be trying to play out from the back like that. Certainly not with a teenage goalkeeper and a team pressing against you as high as Michigan Jaguars are. Lonnie inside Bambanek. Back for Lonnie. Her cross blocked. And away by Bella Chesniak. Bambanek kept it in, but only played it to Szczesniak, who played it off of her out for a throw. Crum and Ashley Szczesniak battling for that one. Szczesniak flaring it out to the near side. Stevens on the chase. As Grimes plays this back for Nelson. Britton heading forward. Lonnie able to turn. Bambanek on the far side. Bambanek crossing all the way. And not taking any chances was Kelsey Ham. It's out for a corner. Set piece opportunity here for the Jaguars. Into the far post, headed down off the line. Still out, still on the line, and it goes in the back of the net eventually. It's 3-2. I think it's Hjorth. Double check here in a second. I've got eyes on who it went off of last. Rooks really up against it now. All the momentum with the visitors as the opposing center back gets one to make it 3-2 here in the 56th. Goal for Michigan Jaguars, scored in the 56th minute by number 38, Taya Hjorth. It was Kelsey Ham, I think, initially who cleared off the line. The Rooks couldn't get it clear, and those are the kind of instances you just can't afford. Got to be able to clear your lines when given the opportunity. And this game has had the feel that the Rooks took that 3-0 lead, and now it's almost a question of can they simply hold on for the rest of the game without giving up three? And I think the answer to that is almost certainly no. So they're going to have to find a way to not just defend, to be able to hold possession a bit, to create some danger. That's a free kick for the Jaguars. And again, I think the big issue is going to be the big mismatch is that the Jaguars attackers absolutely have an advantage for pace. The question is, when you're Edgewater, what do you do to best defend against that when you don't have the option of just subbing in faster players? Lauren Hall. Emily Olson. Here's Scout Murray. Bella Szczesniak looking forward first time, but given away to the goal scorer, Hjorth. Jackson. Finding the feet there of Diambra, who shakes off Stevens. Down the line, here goes Miller. Miller outrunning Ham. Miller. Crosses in, Jackson trying to turn, wasn't allowed to. That ball bounces around, Waller keeps it in. Good reaction by the young goalkeeper. One on the bounce there by Britton. Olsen into the air. Rooks just really disjointed right now. Daniel Budak warming up now on the Edgewater bench. And if they go back to that straight up back three, the big concern will be you got to make sure your wingbacks are defensively astute. Miller's away from Ham again. Miller, good tackle, Skylar Bierker. Immediately launching it long. Stevens and Lee both on the chase. Nelson, though, able to back up and collect. Right idea. Grimes. They're going to keep feeding Miller down the right side, though. They can't connect with her this time. Ham to take the throw in. Running into Crum. Ham finding the feet of Lee. But again, Jaguars just first and second to almost every ball. The Rooks need to try to weather the storm and then come out of it. They can't just hold on for another 30 minutes and think that's going to do. Kayla Jackson. Jackson cutting onto her left. Kayla Jackson! That took a deflection. And now they've got to get it clear, Edgewater. This has been a problem at times. Ham's in big trouble. Miller's got it. Miller surrounded, poked away, and then finally half cleared. And then from distance, Diambra sends it over. Substitution coming for Edgewater, though. Budak is going to go out. Excuse me, come in, and let's see who she replaces. I think it's going to be Bella Szczesniak, but I'm not positive. And so that's interesting. A right back off, center back on. So now a lot of defensive responsibility is going to be asked of Scout Murray. Substitution for Edgewater Castle, leaving the match, number 17, Bella Szczesniak, replaced by number 3, Danielle Budak. So this will see the Rooks be more in that back three setup. So again, the big ask now of Ham and Murray to both provide width and be defensively solid. Jocelyn Lee pressuring Nelson. That was almost big trouble for the Jaguars goalkeeper. Got away with it, though. Bambanek. Scout Murray got a foot in there, out for a Jaguars throw. Headed up into the air there by Diambra and then cleared away for a Rooks throw. Really feels like 3 goals is not going to be enough to win this game. Somebody's going to have to get to 4. Jackson able to turn. Making the run on the far side was Lonnie, and they just weren't on the same page. Cynthia Waller able to secure it. Quick restart to Budak. Seen a lot of those, though, these kind of just half-hearted high balls into midfield that the Rooks are not controlling. And again, credit to the Jaguars. They're creating the pressure and forcing the Rooks into uncomfortable situations. Down the middle again, that's easily cut out by Carfanta. Carfanta dribbling through midfield. Looking for Jackson. Lauren Hall there. Hall sent tumbling. And the referee was playing an advantage. It didn't materialize. So it's a free kick for Edgewater. Again, the championship game is tomorrow over at Loyola's Hoyne Fields. 2 p.m. start. One of these teams will take on New England Mutiny. We'll have that for you right here on the Edgewater Castle YouTube page. As much as we do enjoy everybody joining us, especially if you're a Rooks fan and the Rooks win this game, would be great to see out at Hoyne Fields tomorrow. Olsen to the far side. Again, goals in the 3rd minute by Catherine Stevens, the 11th minute by Jocelyn Lee, and the 23rd minute by Kylie Egan gave Edgewater Castle a 3-0 lead. The responses came from Kayla Jackson in the 32nd minute, and then Taya Hjorth in the 56th. Udok's got to be careful trying to shield this out of play, and does. It's actually going to be a free kick instead. Line drive forward by Hall. Can Jocelyn Lee secure this one? Lee crossing to the middle. That one flicked into the air. Still not clear. Bambanek turning and finding safety and just conceding the throw. We've got a goose on the field. And now we don't. Rooks won a handball, no whistle. And now we're getting one. So I will credit the referee. She's been really good tonight about trying to give advantages whenever possible and keep the game flowing. But I think has also called a pretty fair, even game. Rooks have not had many set-piece opportunities this evening. Rare one here. Emily Olsen standing over it. Olsen bending this one in. Headed goalward and in! Ashley Chesniak with the header. It's 4-2. She almost couldn't believe it herself. Goal for the Rooks, scored in the 65th minute by number 18, Ashley Chesniak. Great ball in by Olsen. On that note, the assist to number 6, Emily Olsen. Great ball in by Olsen, just good snap header by Chesniak, and it's the defensive midfielder who gives the Rooks a little bit of breathing room. Again, making her 4th straight start tonight, and a player who, excuse me, that was her sister. This is her 7th appearance of the season. Was not a player who was an every game starter to start the summer, but has really locked down that defensive midfield place as the Rooks have been preparing for games like this. Early in the season, they were playing midfields of Emily Olsen, Kylie Egan, and Lucy Tang. All good players, but none of whom you would say are particularly defensive. And that's great against inferior opposition, and you can score a whole bunch of goals that way and have a lot of fun. But Ashley's provided some real steel into the Edgewater Castle midfield. That's going to be a Rooks throw on the far side, and now it's Michigan Jaguars' turn to respond again. They've done it tonight already. 23 minutes plus stoppage time to go in this one. Edgewater Castle looking to advance to their first ever UWS championship game. Stoppage here. And it's a case of the Rooks being in absolutely no hurry, but also a sub that is being waited, that was waiting to be made. It's Miller who's going to depart. And I imagine this is going to be the reintroduction of Andy Jones. Substitution for Michigan Jaguars, leaving the match number 49, Victoria Miller, replaced by number 2, Andy Jones. Catherine Stevens looking to the middle. Jocelyn Lee couldn't quite settle it. Jackson now trying to hold things up. Scored the first goal, and here goes Andy Jones. Jones running away from Kelsey Ham, who did well to just get in her way. Bierker got a foot on it, and now Edgewater trying to get clear. Given right back, though. It's an example where maybe just forced a bit. Kylie Egan was available nearby as an early, easy option. The other 2 subs on the bench are getting ready to enter for Michigan Jaguars. That'll be Alex Williams. And I think Lydia Case. So it's 50 and 51 off. Case with even more tape than she had earlier. Substitutions for Michigan Jaguars. Leaving the match, number 50, Sophia Diambra, and number 51, Mary Grimes. Replaced by number 20, Lydia Case, and number 60, Alex Williams. Lee got a foot to that. Jocelyn, back heel. Murray, Olsen, first time ball forward. Headed away by Hjorth. Babinek flicked it on. Lonnie on the turn, but Emily Olsen recovering. Did well to find Scout Murray there. Murray trying to sneak along the sideline, couldn't quite tiptoe it. 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go here in Chicago. 2 p.m. tomorrow at Loyola. The reward for a victory tonight. New England mutiny await. That's out of the reach of Jackson. And the Rooks will get another throw. And not a lot of subbing here in the second half, certainly for Edgewater Castle. Actually, no subbing in the second half other than Danielle Budak coming in. You do wonder at what point Emma Woodley wants to get some fresh legs onto the field. Jocelyn Lee got tangled up there with Carfanta. Referee didn't think anything was illegal. Ham just waited a moment too long there to try to play that pass. Got to give credit to Lydia Case out here playing tonight, because there's no way that playing with that amount of tape is comfortable, A, because of the tape, or B, because of what is necessitating all that tape. Olsen, Stevens. Stevens looking to play it in behind for Jocelyn Lee on the chase. Here's Lee. Jocelyn Lee on her right. Squaring. Murray. Offside flags up. And that is the correct call. Nice idea, though, from the trio of Edgewater forwards. Could be in behind, could be trouble. Waller is there. And again, the Rooks almost architects of their own demise. Ball in the air was missed by Williams, who does well to keep that in. And then, ooh, that looked nasty. But it's just going to be a throw-in in the end for Edgewater. And Ashley Chesniak, thankfully, is back up to her feet quickly. Chesniak, who just finished up her career at Central Michigan, and it's not a yellow card or a foul, but it is a brief talking to from the referee in the direction of Hannah Crum. Ham's throw-in. Lee. And Carfanta colliding. Jocelyn Lee. And that's a clear as day yellow card. And it's going to be Lydia Case into the book. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 73rd minute of play to Michigan Jaguars number 20, Lydia Case. And another set-piece opportunity for the Rooks, this time from the opposite angle of where they scored from earlier. Olsen and Ham on duty here. We saw Kelsey Ham score a goal from not a dissimilar position. That was an open play, though. Referee walking off the 10 yards. Although, I got to give some credit here to Hannah Crum, who simply made the point, hey, there's yard lines, and she's saying the same thing now. It's like, I've made this comment on broadcast before. I know referees want to walk it off themselves, but when you're on a field that can tell you exactly how far 10 yards is, you got to just use it. Taken short, Kelsey Ham. Ham crossing to the far side. Cleared away. Babinek turning and just firing it long. Now the race is on. Waller's there as well. Really good aggressive goalkeeping by Cynthia Waller. She got caught out in her first start early in that game by Crystal Lake Force, and eventually the Rooks turned that game around, won it 4-1. but she has looked nothing but assured, Waller, since entering at halftime. And if the Rooks advance, might give Emma Woodley a decision to make for tomorrow's final. Depending on the fitness of Lucy Clark, of course. Chesniak tangling in midfield there and winning it off of Britton. Chesniak deflects. People are all over the place right now. Here's Jocelyn Lee. Lee eventually went alone, and it's just a goal kick. And Michigan Jaguars want an answer to why there wasn't a foul called earlier in the buildup. And I think it's a mixture of disagreement with the situation, but also just frustration building here, understandably so. Lucy Tang is getting ready to come back into the match for Edgewater, and I would guess that's going to be for Catherine Stevens. And that the Rooks will go solo striker up front with Lee. Ashley Chesniak that time called for the foul. Referee maybe just trying to reassert some control. Williams to take the free kick. Hjorth into the feet of Lonnie. Immediately looking for the cross. Here goes Jones. Kelsey Ham over getting an important touch. Really good defending by the Rooks left wing back. 15 minutes plus stoppage time to go here at Holmgren Athletic Complex. Jones. Andy Jones tried to wrap her foot around it. Couldn't quite. Goal kick and substitution time. It's actually going to be a triple sub when all is said and done. Ashley Chesniak's going to get a break. Scout Murray and Kelsey Ham all going out. And they're replaced by Lucy Tang, Natasha Davenport, and trying to still get eyes on the third sub. I think it's Danny Schulgasser. Substitutions for Edgewater Castle. Leaving the match, number 18, Ashley Chesniak. Number 22, Scout Murray. And number 33, Kelsey Ham. Entering the match, number 4, Danny Schulgasser. Number 7, Natasha Davenport. And number 11, Lucy Tang. So it's very much the front two and then everybody else staying back defending. No real defensive mids in, though. It'll be Egan and Olsen now as a double pivot. This is swung in and held by Waller. It's a good time to remember that Waller, of course, is on her way to being a Division I scholarship athlete. Stevens trying to turn. Lucy Tang tried to help. Catherine Stevens got it eventually. If you were watching this as a local Chicago soccer fan, as opposed to other options you had this evening, one, we thank you. And two, an update that up in Quebec, it's finished Chicago Fire 2, CF Montreal 0. A team that was accurately described by a couple people this week as, quote, being scrapped for parts. And when that's the case, you got to go out and get 3 points. Greg Berhalter's side get that done. Tang went back for Olsen. Jackson. Jones. Forced backwards. Eventually giving and going with Britton. Jones chipping it in the direction of Jackson, who turned over the wrong shoulder, and eventually Waller able to get there. She's been so decisive in this second half, Waller, as was Skylar Bierker there. Kylie Egan. Dispossessed. Then found herself on the ground. Referee pointing in Edgewater's direction. I'm not sure for a throw or a free kick. 79th minute. Jocelyn Lee wins another throw. That'll do the Rooks just fine. I do wonder if we'll see Ashley Chesniak come back in this game, given she's been so instrumental tonight, and just if the Rooks get to a stage where they're just trying to lock it down. Meanwhile, Catherine Stevens, that's a good step by Williams. Case racing to keep this in play. Williams evades some trouble. Hjorth looking long for a wide open Bambanek. Bambanek's curving this in, and Waller there on patrol again. And for once, Waller's going to take some air out of the ball. Egan knocking that ball dead out of the air. Olsen playing it back, and now this is where the Rooks got to be careful. Situations like this. Schulgasser gets rid of it. Bierker pressured. Jackson, they gave it up. And now if you're the Jaguars, you got to take advantage, and hands on head for Mielani because she knew that's a missed opportunity. If I'm the Rooks in those situations at this point, I'm just telling my teammates to play that ball immediately out of bounds. Kylie Egan just went over and got some instructions from Coach Woodley. Less than 10 minutes of normal time to go in this second semifinal. 4-2 Edgewater Castle lead behind an early first half barrage that saw them go 3-0 out in front. Jackson was putting pressure there on Waller. Waller showing she's wise beyond her years with the mental side of a game like this. Davenport, Tang. And once again, if you're the Rooks, anything's better right now than trying to pass out of the back in your own defensive third. That's a great ball by Skylar Bierker. Davenport, straight down the line. Stevens isn't going to get there, but this ball is not in any hurry to get over that end line, which it does eventually. Rooks preparing a change, and I think it's Ashley Chesniak coming back out here to try to lock this down. Well, it's one of the Chesniak sisters. They look very, very similar, despite not being twins. Actually, no, it's Courtney Sangstock who's going to come in and replace Catherine Stevens. So Sangstock going to go out there and do a whole bunch of running. Substitution for Edgewater Castle, leaving the match number 5, Catherine Stevens, replaced by number 19, Courtney Sangstock. Comes all the way through, and Waller will pick it up. Emily Olsen. Olsen under some pressure. Does really well to get out of it and find Kylie Egan. Kylie Egan has Jocelyn Lee ahead of her. Still Egan. Edge of the area. Pokes it forward. Jocelyn can't quite get there as Nelson came diving out. Williams sending it forward. Lonnie delayed her run a bit, and that's going to be plenty of time for Cynthia Waller to once again eat a few seconds off the clock. Waller, effectively the relief pitcher this evening, has come in and done very well. Wouldn't say that she was at much fault, if at any, for the one goal. Here's Lucy Tang. Tang Crisscrossing, Jocelyn Lee just got her feet tangled up. You heard a fan yelling, go, go, and I think that would have been the thing to do if you're Lucy Tang there, is even if you don't have a path to goal, just trot over toward the corner flag and just try to burn some clock. Free kick for the Jaguars. And being very confrontive is the previously frustrated Crum. Referee quickly over to defuse the situation. I don't think Egan was intentionally trying to delay there. I think she was certainly taking her path through the area, but wasn't, I don't think, planning on stopping there. And also wasn't the only person in the crowd. Things settled down a bit as now this is sent forward by Carfanta. Header flicked on, not clear yet. Davenport is going to hit this to the corner, and the good news is it's just a throw-in. Jackson trying to flick it to herself around Budak. And Budak, again, just out of play. 85th minute. Jaguars need 2. Jackson turning. Jackson crossing. Side netting. Forward by Waller. Header won by Lonnie. And Bierker, that was actually pretty tricky. Everybody was looking at Jackson and Hall going for that ball, and before it got to either of them, Skylar Bierker just darted in to head it back to Waller. Hjorth clears that out, Edgewater throw. 86th minute. Rooks women's team on the verge of what would be without question the biggest victory in the still relatively young history of this program. Team that really got its start in the pandemic. No one out there in more than their 3rd season for the club. Jocelyn Lee took that away, shook off a challenge. Big chance here. Egan's in the middle. Jocelyn Lee waiting, wanted to go herself. Should have squared it up. Lucy Tang, no. And you want your strikers to be selfish in general, but that's an example of where you'd probably have rather Jocelyn Lee teed that up at the penalty spot for Kylie Egan. Another sub coming. Cameron Sangstock will replace Jocelyn Lee. Substitution for Edgewater Castle, leaving the match number 12. Jocelyn Lee, replaced by number 9, Cameron Sangstock. So Sangstock, who can play as a forward, but has played mostly this summer as a wingback, is in. She'll go up front alongside her sister. Here is Courtney. Rooks looking to shut this down and move on to tomorrow's final. Olsen flicking this long. Natasha Davenport is on the chase. Davenport can't quite get there. Into the 88th minute. This is a Michigan Jaguars team who in the second half just have not looked to have that energy we saw late in the first half, and I think the missed opportunity for them was not finding a second goal before halftime. Bierker, handball called, and Skylar doesn't agree with it. Jaguars want a yellow card for kicking the ball away. And the referee is going to call Bierker over, and it is going to be a yellow card for time wasting by kicking the ball away. A yellow card caution has been issued in the 88th minute of play to Edgewater Castle number 25, Skylar Bierker. And it's Hjorth who scored the first goal who's going to send this in. Feel like a goal has to come from this for Michigan Jaguars. Hjorth launching into the area. Waller stays on her line. That ball was headed away by a Rook. And this is going to be a corner kick. Jaguars scored from their last corner. Biggest thing is the Rooks just got to be better at clearing the ball. There was 2 or 3 swings and misses on that occasion. Nelson, the goalkeeper, standing in the center circle, wondering if she should go all the way up. Everybody into the 6-yard box. Referee eagle-eyed at the top of the 18. Outswinger into the near post. Just goes right back out. Bambanek looking to get the crossing again. Never had the chance. Was closed down by Davenport. Throw in on the far side as we're into the 90th minute. Booted away by Lauren Hall. Out for another throw. Edge of the area, ball bouncing. Cameron Sangstock got a foot in and cleared. Rooks fully in penalty kill mode now. Out of play again. This time by Schulgasser. Referee just checked her watch. We're still waiting for a signal on added time. Again, we've had a bunch of goals, so I'd expect at least 2 or 3 minutes. To the far side, could this roll all the way through? Davenport, got to be careful. Back for Waller. Waller back for Davenport. Well done by the goalkeeper. And then Natasha can clear. Out for a throw on the far side. Referee just indicated a number to her 4th official, but I couldn't see it. It looked like 3 or 4, but couldn't tell from up here. We're over the 90 now in any case. Ball bouncing through. Egan knocks it long. Hjorth. Hjorth back heel. Didn't hit anybody. It's going to be another Rooks throw. Tang tried to flick it, didn't work. Settled by Davenport. Olsen. Look at the room that Sangstock has. She couldn't settle it first time. Flag stays down. And Courtney heads for the corner. Sangstock goes down. In the end, it's just a Jaguars throw. Lonnie knocks it off of a teammate. This is a night where we're really appreciative of having this remote second camera on the field because we can't see that corner from up here. So I'm literally watching that same view that you were there at home. Skylar Bierker heads it forward. Hammered forward by Crum. Gonna roll all the way through. Bambanek. Past Davenport. Bambanek edge of the area. Cuts it back. It's too high for a header by Jackson. It rolls all the way out on the near side for an Edgewater throw. As the seconds keep ticking away and the referee checks her watch. Players down. 1 Edgewater, 2 Jaguars. Sangstock the header. Courtney. Pushed it forward. It's out for another Rooks throw. Bouncing ball. Cameron Sangstock trying to turn. Britton took her down. Referee playing advantage. Courtney Sangstock going on, and this ball rolling to the end line, and now we've got another tangle, and the referee has a few things to sort out here because that sure looked like a yellow card on Britton behind the play. And I'm a little surprised the referee's not going to revisit that. Into the 4th minute of added time. Header flicked on by Crum. Jackson. Lonnie. Crum launching long. Looking for Jackson. Header just too far ahead, and Waller scoops up. Referee checks her watch again. Bierker, Schulgasser. Down the near side, Cam Sangstock. Lucy Tang there to help her out. Tang, try to feed it through for Sangstock. It'll get there eventually. Sangstock for her sister. Courtney couldn't quite get there. Was just shielded away from it by Hjorth. And now the referee is going to stop play as Sangstock is a little slow to her feet. And I think if you're the Jaguars, you're not really happy that play was stopped there. You wanted to just get going and just hammer it downfield. As now Jackson just hits it right into Lucy Tang. Certainly don't think it was intentional. Jackson waves an apology. Now into the 5th minute added on. And the referee blows for full time. Edgewater Castle are on to the UWS National Championship final tomorrow. They'll take on the New England Mutiny. Huge win tonight here at North Park, 4-2 for the Rooks. Tonight's final score, Michigan Jaguars FC 2, your Edgewater Castle FC Rooks 4. Edgewater Castle advanced to tomorrow's National Championship final to face the New England Mutiny. Kickoff for tomorrow's final is at 2 p.m. at Hoyne Field. We hope to see you there. Thank you for attending, and please get home safely. Well, don't know what the expectations were for everybody around Edgewater Castle coming into the weekend, but 4 goals in a national semifinal, a 4-2 victory. That'll do quite nicely whatever happens tomorrow. Coming into the weekend, Mutiny were the favorites. They'll be there waiting for Edgewater tomorrow. It's a quick turnaround. It's less than 24 hours. That's hard for anybody. Should be a great experience, though, tomorrow. The Rooks get to play a true home game back at Hoyne Fields for a trophy, for a national championship. And what could be better than that? The goals tonight, 3 from usual sources. Catherine Stevens, Jocelyn Lee, Kylie Egan. And then Ashley Chesniak, the flicked header on the set piece, on the free kick, assisted by Emily Olsen, ends up being the dagger. Congrats to Michigan Jaguars on a great season. This was a tough task for them tonight with how depleted their roster was from what their A-team would have looked like. But, you know, I think there was a few players who played really, really well tonight. The young high schoolers stepped up especially. But in the end, what a night for Emma Woodley and her team for Edgewater Castle. Everybody go home, hydrate, get some sleep. We'll see you out there tomorrow. That's going to wrap it up here tonight from Holmgren Athletic Complex. Thank you for tuning in, whether you watched all of both games, just a little of this one, Edgewater fan, Michigan Jaguars fan, or heck, if you're a fan of the Mutiny or SoCal and stuck around, we love that too. We're going to close things down, though, here shortly from the Holmgren Athletic Complex. For our entire Edgewater Castle team here at North Park University, I'm Alex Campbell saying so long from Chicago. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon when we play for a national championship.